They're going to destroy the forest.
We have to do something. Let our powers combine. Earth, fire,
Hide! With your powers combined, I am Captain Planet! Go Planet!
Alright Lisa, we are here at my uni and I've grown you some lad's love. If the sun would piss off. So, this one is good against fleas. I thought you and the hubby, you know, you might, you've already got a kid, you might have more children, and you might get a dog one day if you don't have one already. I'm not sure, I didn't ask. And so if you do have a dog or get one in the future, lads love this herb here. I don't believe it's edible because it's an insect repellent, and so you don't want your kids to eat it, but you can squeeze the oil, say around where fleas are, or you can just lay some of the leaves off this around where, you know, if you get a flea, I don't know, the beginning, I guess, of a flea infestation, because once the fleas have infested, as anyone who's had them before will know, they're very hard to get rid of if you don't use, you know, like pesticide bombs and stuff once they're fully infested and there's like a million everywhere. So anyway, I've used this to block a bit of, later on, the sun will be across there, and so I've used this lad's love here to put it in front of what I have here, which are mustard greens and red lettuce. So just because the sun will come on the angle where I'm sitting now, as you can see my head from the shade, so the sun will be beaming down through here, and so just for a little while that lad's love will give a little bit more shade to those red lettuces. So that's also companion planting. And also these marigolds here are pest control, and you can watch an exhaustive list and watch, you can listen to an exhaustive list on Mariah Starr's pest control video where I planted those for him, $30 Bandit video, and that's lavender, which I expect will maybe help a little bit with some pests, and it's mainly it smells good, and you can use the oil, and you could probably eat a couple of leaves now and then, and it won't do anything bad. And that's also in position to block, yet again from this angle, from the side angle more, block a little bit of the direct like sunlight onto those leafier greens over there. Because see, this one's a bit more hardier, it's got like a tree-like stem instead of just leaves, which dry out quicker. So there's lad's love, and I thought that was apt, because we in Australia call our mates sometimes, or friends, lads, L-A-D and apostrophe S. And so yeah, that one is good against fleas. So now I'm going to take you over here where I also planted this other plant, which we're going to go inside and research after. I just thought I'd shoot the video first. I planted you next to Brodie Corbett's mallow. That's marshmallow, which is edible, and it's a little bit of a stimulant. So you don't want your kids eating too much of it, but I'd probably prefer them to eat that over sugar or something, which is also a stimulant. So, you know, and get them used to eating their greens. So that's marshmallow, or Althea officinalis. It's just called marshmallow in most nurseries. Now this one here I planted for you. It doesn't look so amazing. I'll have to nurse it into health, but it was actually the best plant start of its type. So what is this little guy, and why did I choose it for your video? Again, because you've got kids, Lisa, I chose this one. It's called Rungai Kyosi in its scientific name, but its actual less scientific name or nickname is mushroom plant, and it does taste a little bit like mushroom, so I'm guessing that's why they call it that. Now, its nutritious leaves, rich in protein, vitamin A and C, calcium and iron, used in cooking, garnishes and salads. Now, I don't know if you do too much research yourself, Lisa, but I do a lot of research on like health, I guess we'll meta-title it. And mainly, oh, well, not mainly actually, but a lot falls under like eating, and like healthy eating, and what are you eating, and what's in your products, and so forth. Now in the supermarket, if you'll have a look on your labels of food, I mean, to me it's quite slim, firstly, on the ingredients, and if there are heaps of ingredients, sometimes there's emulsifiers, and there's this, and there's that, you know, all these chemical substitutes for things, and additives, and blah blah blah. We don't have to go into that because it's pretty well known by now. But yeah, I want to encourage your kids to grow, or kid, I don't know if you're going to have another one, but I want to encourage your kids, everybody's kids, to grow their greens and get used to eating their greens, not things that come out of packets. Like, you know, everything in the store is packaged and stuff, often. Even the greens there in the store are not as large a variety. Often they're not grown with so much nutrients. For instance, I put medium spectrum rock dust in here, which has things like, again, calcium and all these other things in there. You can watch Alana Prather's video for the analysis and the assay of what's in the medium spectrum rock dust that I use. Now, yeah, so as I was saying, continuing on, you know, a lot of the greens even in the stores are not so nutritious. 'Cause often they'll grow them under hydroponics, and they might not give them the best nutrients, like they probably don't give them wide spectrum supplementation or even medium spectrum supplementation of mineralization. So that's what I do, and that's what I encourage you guys to do as well, because you want to be healthy, yeah? So we want your kids to be healthy, and not only does that already contain those things in the plant, but when you put medium spectrum rock dust with this in there, as I've done, you're going to get all these other things, which were things like calcium, and there's cobalt, and there's all kinds of things. It's all the minerals out of rock dust, and the plants are what they eat, just like we are what we eat. So that was another reason I chose that one, though, because it's got iron as well in it, and a lot of our quote-unquote modern day diets are quite devoid of iron. You know, I thought that's a good way for you to get some iron. I'm not sure how high in iron this thing is, but I like to grow genetic diversity. So you might say, oh, but spinach has iron, Ben. I can just feed my kids spinach. Yeah, but you want to also get into diversity of life, you know. The more diverse you eat, I guess, the more diverse you will be. Maybe this has a different molecular state. Maybe it's some kind of different isotope or something, or of iron or whatever, or it's more easily soluble or something. For instance, apparently plant iron is less absorbable or something by the body than meat iron. I heard something like this. But anyway, let's forget that. Because I don't believe we all need to eat so much meat as the modern dietitians might have us believe as well. And I think that is largely due to that advice from a lot of people that say don't cut out meat from your diet is sometimes largely due to firstly them not knowing what their recipient already is eating. For instance, if I was eating a lot of spinach every day and a lot of this, I'm sure I'm getting enough iron, so then I don't need to eat a lot of meat anyway. And there's a whole lot of ethical issues around meat and stuff, but we're not going to go into all that. I just wanted to share with you, you know, my opinion though, that you know, you want to go for variety, you want to go for rarity as well, because you're going to be getting things that other people aren't getting as well. And it's not just about what you're getting and about us, it's also putting this here for someone else to learn what this is, what it's got in it. That's another reason I've planted it, you know. And yeah, the genetic diversity aspect of it, and just to make other people realise, like this whole project here, you can see Tuscana kale up there, sweet marjoram and coriander, and there's more stuff I've planted around the uni. This whole project is about, you know, making people, it's kind of a demonstration garden in a way, as well as meant to be feeding me and helping me. Because yes, indeed, Lisa was one of the first people to donate, and I thank you very much. You helped me out there, and gave me some better food for half the week, and yeah, much appreciated. So, alright, we're here at a caravan park with a nice little slide for kids. I'm not staying in the caravan park, but you can stay there. And we're at Hastings Point. And I forgot that in this path, I sometimes come down here to check the surf, which I was just doing. And I forgot they have titles of trees on the trees on little signs. So I'm going to have a look at the ones that I can find, because a few people might want to see what it's like in Australia. They might not have been here before, and we'll see if we can read off some of the names I remember seeing in here when I find them. For instance, there's a red ash tree. It says red ash on it. You probably can't see with my camera. That's a red ash tree. Oh, here's another one. Oh, this is a peanut tree. What, like a... No, I don't think they grow peanuts on there. I don't think it grows peanuts. Peanuts grow on the ground, don't they? And look, there's actually... by June Care, like they've got plant starts over there, and like probably compost and stuff, I think I saw. Compost bins and so forth. So if I really need to, I could probably maybe get some compost over there, since I'm still vagabond. And remember, we are at the end of history here. The time wave's just finished, and the time wave was resonances. Presumably, because when tracked, when Terence McKenna put it on the end date, the 21st 12th 2012, it ended up tracking history accordingly. And so that one's a Macaranga. This is the one that I showed you at the other spot the other day, and I said I forgot the name at the wood chip spot. But I always can tell by that leaf there. Yeah, and it has a bit of natural lore, L-O-R-E, so like build up of knowledge and so forth about the Aboriginals in this area. So we don't want to lose cultural genetic diversity. Now history has ended, but it doesn't mean you want to throw away, you know, otherwise it's, what's that saying, learn the lessons of history or you're doomed to repeat them, you know. So lore is important, and there's a Aboriginal face drawing, and it shows you a legend for medicinal use, edible bush tucker, requiring some preparation, edible straight from the plant. So we're going to look out for those spots if I can even find them. And there's a ryeberry tree, R-I-B berry, R-I berry. Yep, there's some compost happening over there. In that bin over there. So they've got it in the sun. Now you want 50% nitrogen and 50% carbon, so 50% greens, the nitrogen, and 50% browns, the like wood chips, wood dust and that sort of stuff, that's carbon. Alright, let's take a walk up here. Some tags have fallen off, I can't read that one. That one. Daintree plum, I think. Oh, that tall skinny one there. You can see that. There's its leaves there. I think it says Daintree or Davidson plum. Davidson plum. White beech with a double E, white beech. So this is a sort of typical foreshore along the east coast of Australia. I'm in North New South Wales at Hastings Point, and to see Hastings Point you can watch Natalie Whitfield's video, $30 Bandit. That's a white cedar. Does not look like an evergreen, so it just was growing back some leaves that it just would have shed. And blue lily pilly, this bush here, the blue lily pilly. This one is a horsetail she oak. I see a lot of these around. Oh, I just realised how much I love looking at the sky. So relaxing. There is a silver aspen. Kind of looks like that other one a little bit, but you always got to look at the leaves. Leaves are quite often very telltale, like fingerprint sort of signs. So you can remember what the tree is without the sign. This one is a beach acronetia. Acronetia. Oh, it's got little fruits of some sort on there. They might be those little yellow fruits. Maybe edible. Australian bush tucker. I think you might have to prepare them. I can't see any red or black dot on there. The stump's all black, so maybe that means it's you've got to prepare it, I'm pretty sure. Celery wood. One there. So yeah, this is what it looks like around here, guys. It's pretty nice. Coast Banksia, they're everywhere. This one here. Telltale things, you can always step on these things. Good when they're bushy because it doesn't hurt, but when they're like that they sometimes can hurt too. Up there, if you can see those cones. I think I'm getting better at my camera work. Old man Banksia, so it just looks like it's got a way bigger thing there, pod or whatever that is. Old man Banksia. Plum pine. Plum pine. That one. Beach bird's eye. It's also got those little things on them that hurt when you step on them. So June Care does this, and they're largely community based, I'm pretty sure. They take a lot of good care around the beaches here, which I encourage all you other countries to do. There's a coastal screw pine. Because we want to leave something for the future people, and we also want genetic diversity for ourselves as well, don't we? There's a coastal screw pine. They're everywhere as well. Quite prevalent. What's this one? Banksia. Anyway, let's have a look at the little surf. See, there's another macaranga. Those leaves. Onto this sunny beach. There's a little wave out there. I'm going to go on my mini longboard because it is like a lake out there today. Quite flat, but I think the tide's dropping and there might be a little runner something tiny to catch. Now when you look for surf, you want to look for a sandbank. So over here you can see a sandbank. It's not very good, but you can see waves. So waves are better than no waves, as I always like to say. Alright guys, oh, and there's a few people out down there. And looks like a school's coming onto the beach. Down there. So up there's Hastings Point. And I planted Natalie Whitfield a rosemary, and I just watered it. And that's after about 2 weeks. And it survived fine. I didn't even water it when I planted it. So there you go. I do recommend planting rosemary because it's very hardy. It's also a perennial. That means you put it there and it just keeps growing. It won't, you know, it's not an annual crop. Here's a nice little one up there. Alright, another successful guerrilla grow. And there's Cabarita Beach headland up there. Another successful guerrilla grow by the $30 Bandit. Go enjoy outside and get growing.
The power is mine, bitches. Hey all you Planeteers at home. Remember, turn off the faucet between usages and recycle those plastics. Or else, I'll turn you into a fucking tree. Captain Planet, motherfucker.